now want to get the very latest on the Mueller matter. Alan Dershowitz says the government simply has no right to material taken from the president's private attorney's office and hotel room earlier this week. Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz back with me today. Sir, good day to you and a good morning. We may get interrupted, but let's see how much of the legal matters we can plow through, because you were at the White House the other night for dinner. I believe you went back yesterday, if my sources are accurate. So that's 2 visits to the White House in 1 week. You say the president will not fire anyone connected to the Mueller matter. Why do you say that?
Well, first, my meetings at the White House were about the Middle East. I've been meeting with people from his staff on the Middle East now over time, and previous presidents the same. And so it was just a complete coincidence that it occurred on the day after the raid. I don't think he's going to fire anybody. It's possible that his lawyers may do what any lawyer would do, move for the recusal of Rosenstein. Rosenstein at this point is the major witness for the defense, and you can't be both a witness for the defense and a part of the head of the prosecution team. It's an obvious recusal, but recusal is different from firing. It's something the person does himself or the court imposes on him. It's not something that an outsider like the President of the United States would do. So that's all possible. Look, the raid itself was, to everything I can see now, unjustified. What they were looking for were not the most serious crimes, not terrorism, not drug lords, not organized crime, but maybe some kind of technical election violations or tax violations. And to raid a lawyer's office and to seize potentially privileged information. Imagine if they had raided your doctor's office and gotten your most intimate doctor information.
I'd be ticked off. I sensed through the camera the other night the amount of anger the president had. I agree with you. However, now, you believe Mueller's trying to have it both ways. He can carry out one investigation here, and he doesn't have purview of the matter in New York, so he farms it out to the New York Bureau. That's your position. However, there is a case in law. It's called crime fraud exception, excuse me, where you cannot legally use your lawyer to pursue something that is illegal. And if that's what Mueller's looking at, that could be a big problem. What is your view on that part of the law?
First of all, of course it's true, but you have to, in a search warrant, allege it and show that there's probable cause for believing that there were illegal, fraudulent conversations between a lawyer and a client. Even if the lawyer engaged in fraud, that doesn't justify seizing the client's secret information, which may not have been involved in fraud at all. Let me take a hypothetical. So the president is on tape talking about Access Hollywood. The tape itself may have been unlawfully obtained under California law because it seems clear Trump did not know he was being taped. And in California law, you need the permission of the person being taped to be taped. So I can imagine him calling his lawyer and saying, oh, by the way, Mr. Cohen, you know, I was taped illegally. Do everything you can in your power legally to stop this tape from coming out. If that happened, it would be a perfectly lawful lawyer-client communication, and yet the government would have access to it. They would put it through a taint team, but a taint team is just other FBI agents and prosecutors listening to confidential material and then saying, oh, we promise we won't leak it. Yeah, I'm going to really trust that. FBI agents, prosecutors hearing the president talk and not leaking it? Come on. Yeah,
so I know you've got a big problem with the attorney-client relationship here. I fully respect your position on that. You compare it to a priest and a penitent, a husband and wife, and on and on. I read the piece that you wrote just yesterday. But if you circle back, and if you believe Mueller has found evidence of an FEC violation, maybe that's what this is all about. And if it is, you can pay that out in a fine, right? I mean, then we just...
That's not good enough. What you do if you think there's evidence of that, you go after bank records, subpoena the bank. You go after tax records, subpoena the IRS. You go after records of the people he communicated with, you can subpoena those. But you use a raid on a lawyer's office as a last resort. And even if you do that, what you do is you should bring a judge with you. There should be a process where you can bring a judge or an objective monitor. And before anything is seized, somebody looks through it and says, no, 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 this is lawyer-client privilege. This is medical privilege. This is priest privilege. You don't get that. But this way they seize everything, and a government agent reads every one of the material that is also privileged. There's something very wrong with that, and I don't think any American would really like that. And the ACLU has now come out in support of this raid. The ACLU, they're supposed to be the organization that stands up for civil liberties. Now they're Mueller fans. Now they're FBI fans. Now they're supporting the Justice Department. Now they're saying there's nothing wrong with it. They don't even know the facts, and they're out there supporting it. Shame on the ACLU. I used to be on its national board when it was actually a civil liberties organization, not a political get Trump organization.
Oh. Sir, come on back.
Anytime.
My list is long. Alan Dershowitz with us today. Thank you, sir, by way of Skype.
Thank you.